It's very important to mention here that the man who came up with the idea that expanding NATO eastwards was a fateful error, he said that in 1997, and it would inevitably lead to a military response by Russia. He said that in 97, that was George F. Kennan. He was the man who directed the new CIA and was the architect of the Russian containment policy of the United States that produced détente and is credited with preventing nuclear war for most of the 20th century. This man was not a pro-Russian propagandist by any means. And a various number of people, including John Gray, the greatest living critic of liberalism, have repeatedly said that the goal here for the remaining liberal remnant is to do as they have always done and continue regime change operations, this time in Russia. In 2023, the British philosopher John Gray said that this signaled the end of the post-Soviet world order, or the world order that emerged after the Cold War. And he said the beginning of that end was the regime change operation in Iraq. He said that the liberals were fighting yet another war in the so-called defense of democracy. And that is the way it is marketed. And if you look at this war without that perspective, you are called a traitor. Now, I'm not a traitor. I think it's important also to remember that the duties of diplomacy are to see the survival of your people, your nation, your civilization into the next century and beyond, and not for the news cycle today or for some ideological policy objectives that you and your faction have cooked up. It is plainly irresponsible. Is there hope for the future? Yes, I think there is. I think you're seeing what's basically an elite civil war in the West as one model of grand strategy expires and another struggles to take its place. There are hard financial and diplomatic reasons why this must be the case, because without it, frankly, the United States may have a severe financial collapse.